with Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell. Ring that little bell so you are notified when new videos drop. And we live in a bit of a cultural divide, a culture war. We are experiencing I would say, a deep cultural divide, and there's many ways you could quantify that, right? I mean, obviously nothing is universal, but there's many ways you can quantify that. The way I'm going to do for this video is call them two groups, the elites and the deplorables, right? The elites and the deplorables. Now, you know, who are these groups? You know, the deplorables. You're probably looking at them, right? The deplorables are the rank and file, you know, poor people, you know, working class people, working people. Generally speaking, that's the deplorables, and the elites are, well, they're the elites. You know, there's a lot of advantages to being one of the elites, in the elite camp, which is why I think people would like to be a part of that elite camp. Money, you get money and power, luxury, but more than that, you're in a rarefied group or a controlling group. So, you know, the disadvantage, of course, of being in that group is they have absolutely no moral center whatsoever, no shared defined morality, and as such, it keeps shifting, and going in strange places. So it's going in a place where pretty much it always ends up. Which is wanting to have sex with kids, right? Having sex with kids, you know, or sexualizing children. I think wanting to have sex with children, that's a big thing with the elites. The elites, they will say, "Oh no, of course not." Have you seen Cuties? You know, that's the elites. The people who are on board for this dehumanization of other people, this using of other people, and I think, yeah, having sex with children. I honestly, look, it's very hard to understand somebody else's kink, especially one as quite as reprehensible as that. I think it basically boils down to something similar to a power rape fantasy. You get to have power over someone, like complete power over someone, to gratify yourself, and complete power to destroy them, merely to gratify yourself. And then the gratification, I think they enjoy so much that they want to pretend, oh no, it's not destroying them. No, it's actually good and healthy for them. Now look, this wouldn't be the first society where the elites have sex with children, right? Where you're brought up to think that it's a good thing. Rome, for example, right? Rome was quite into paedophilia, and you know, I can't speak on it with any real authority. I should talk to my sister about it. My sister is actually a tenured college professor, which I can't, you know, chalk and cheese. My sister, me and my sister, but she teaches classics, so she knows Roman society very well. But yeah, no, it's like having sex with children was a thing, right? A thing, and children were raised to think that it's not a bad thing, which is where I think we're going right now. And I think it's very, very clear and obvious that that's where the culture war has taken us. So it's an interesting place, I think, because we've arrived at a breaking point in society, right? We've arrived at an absolute fracture point in society where you have one group of people, the deplorables, who go, "You touch my kids, I'm gonna kill you." Right? You teach my kids weird stuff like this, I am gonna kill you over my dead body. But they're stupid, idiot deplorables. They don't know anything. The elites are the ruling class, but the ruling class not doing quite so well at ruling right now. Not doing quite so well at ruling. So the latest thing that they're really into, as I said, is conditioning children that that sex is normal, normalizing sex to children as young as 4 and 5 years old, which we're going to be. Listen, I'm not talking hyperbole, which I talk a lot. This is something that's real and going on, and if you don't know about it, I think it's something that you should absolutely be aware of, right? I think it's something that you should know about. Fine, before we get into this video, can you hit the like button? Even though it's not very likable. It's not very likable. Like, share, subscribe, comment, Substack. Substack is my email newsletter. So, subscribing is great. YouTube are one of the elites. I'm one of the deplorables. They don't like me. They kind of need me. Here's the thing. The elites need the deplorables. You ever seen Hunger Games? That's essentially how it works. You have like one set of elites who live in luxury, and everybody else who lives in dirt. So we're the ones who live in dirt. YouTube are the people who live in luxury, right? And they don't like me with my deplorable values and my, your religion and your guns, right? And there's a reason why that deplorable lines that the deplorable line that Hillary Clinton used in the 2016 election resonated so strongly with both sides of the debate, right? The Hillary Clinton supporters of the world, they were like, yes, they are deplorable. Ugh, right? They are absolutely deplorable, and that's exactly what they think of you. And I think they want just to use you for your gratification because they get off on it, right? Essentially, they get off on it. But to do that, again, they had to run the world in a way that people somehow benefit, which they certainly messed up. So anyway, like, share, subscribe. So, as I said, if you can subscribe, that's very, very helpful. Sign up to my Substack. That's really, really, really helpful. It's my email newsletter. I have a paid one. It's like $5 a month. I give you stuff. I give you stuff and everything. Just sign up to everything, baby. Just subscribe to my Every Woman Desire. You know what? Could go, you could do worse things. You could do worse things. Like, share, subscribe, comment, Substack. Comments also very good. Thank you very much. We're on Rumble. Hit the Rumble button. Let's look at this story, right? Let's look at the story. And I think if you look at things in a through a prism of elites versus deplorables, right? You understand the absolute hatred they had for Donald Trump, which really didn't make any sense, right? Look, we had the time he was president, we had a lot of moral crisis. And he was a pretty scuzzy guy. He still is a pretty scuzzy guy. He likes sleeping with porn stars. I think that's why porn stars look the way they do. So people like sleeping with them, right? I don't think he likes sleeping with kids. That's the thing. I just don't think that that's where he is. I might be wrong. But he was the champion of the deplorables, right? And they hated him for it because they hate the deplorables. And Joe Biden is the champion of the elites, and the elites are in complete control. And with Justin Trudeau, another elite, wants to crush any speech he doesn't like, any speech that criticizes him. Because why? You're a disgusting deplorable, and I'm an elite. Who are you to talk down to me? Now, give me a kid. I want to have sex. Yeah, it's essentially where we are. So Disney, a massive, very powerful corporation, very, very, very much on the side of the elites. Now, the elites, they screwed up once again. Because there was a pushback against this sexualizing of children. When I say sexualizing, a normalizing of strange sexual attitudes and attitudes about gender, which are normally very, very destructive to people. So let's start over there. This is what this is the sort of thing that this bill in Florida, which they're calling the Don't Gay Bill, came to combat. But and you can actually see both sides of the argument pretty clearly on it. So let's turn this on. The sound turned up. Yeah. So let's hear what this guy has to say.
And something cool about me,
So it's a teacher on a Zoom call. I think with the kids. There's something cool about him,
Miss Hammond. All right. So something that's really cool and unique about who I am is that I am transgender. So we touched a little bit about.
So I have to ask you, when I grew up going to school, I didn't know anything about the teachers. If he looked like a bloke, I assumed he was a bloke. If he looked like a woman, I assumed it was a woman. Didn't know if they're married. Didn't care. I was five. I was playing with crayons, right? This shouldn't really be in the realm of education, right? For ages this young. And the only reason it is well, there's two reasons. One, narcissism. I think teachers like this want to normalize themselves to children. Children's very easy to normalize yourself to. There was this incredible program that recreated those naughty National Socialists from the Third Reich. I said Third Reich. Naughty National Socialists from the 1930s in Germany. Those guys. How they approached, how they educated children. So. You have to look this up. It's really fascinating. So this American school teacher, She came up with this program where she came in and said, "Okay, today we're going to say all the blue-eyed people, all the people with blue eyes are the best people ever, right? And anybody without blue eyes, they're bad." And the incredible thing is, kids about 5, 6 years old, incredible, and they remembered it to adulthood. This is how powerful this thing was, right? And immediately they started grouping into the behaviors that they were being pushed into, right? And they started to the blue-eyed kids were like, well, we're the elites, right? We're the absolute elites, and they was talking trash about the kids without blue eyes, and the kids without blue eyes were made to felt like they were bad, they were evil. Then the next day, they came in and reversed it and said the blue-eyed kids are the bad kids. And again, they grouped together, right? They grouped together. They started spewing hatred at the blue-eyed, because this is what kids are like. This is what will happen, because they are very easily impressionable. Kids want to please you. Kids want to get positive reinforcement. And you would know that if you have children, right? Kids desperately want to play. And it stays all through their lives, right? Absolutely all through their lives. Like my older daughter is living with us now. She's like in her mid-20s, right? In her mid-20s. Incredible. She's a basket case at home. If she wasn't so successful with everything she does, I would have thought she's literally insane, right? Literally insane. She's just a very, very good person. Very helps out around the house a lot. Also talks like the clappers and is annoying as hell a lot of the time. So sometimes I get a little bit short with her, right? Shut up! For God's sake, shut up! Yeah, listen, we're all human. We're all human, right? But when that happens, last time that happened, and I always feel bad, right? Like, but I'm only bloody human. What do you want out of me? But whenever that happens, like, I want to know the house gets a lot tidier, a lot quicker, because she wants to please me, because I'm her parent, and this is just ingrained into. This is what children are. Children are sponges, and children want to say, well done, that you've got it right. Children want positive reinforcement, right? That's why there's this push to teach this to children. That let's hear what he has to say
about that at the beginning of this week in the book that Miss Hammond read, but I'm going to give you my explanation about what it means to be transgender as well.
So they said at the beginning of this week they talked about it. Why? I don't see this in the purview of teachers, especially teachers who don't have children themselves. Let's hear his explanation.
Well, so when babies are born, the doctor looks at them and they make a guess about whether the baby is a boy or a girl based on what they look like. And most of the time...
No, it's not based on what they look like. It's based on their physical characteristics, their sexual characteristics. Do they have a penis? Do they have a vagina? Now, can you call that a guess? Well, for 99.9% of humanity, no, that's a scientific fact, right? 99.9% of humanity through the entirety of history, no, that's not called a guess. That's actually called a scientific fact. Now, if you don't want to go along with the science, right, that's fine. But here, let's hear why he's calling it a guess.
Time that guess is 100% correct. There are no issues whatsoever. But sometimes the doctor is wrong. The doctor makes an incorrect guess.
Again, it's not a guess. It's 2 + 2 = 4. That you're not guessing the answer's 4, right? The science is 2 + 2 = 4. The math is 2 + 2 = 4. Yeah, I am sure there's some strange exceptions where that wouldn't be the case. But again, they're probably as prevalent as people who have penises go, oh no. Well, let's hear why he thinks that. And again, I'm not denying this guy's reality. Like, you notice I'm gendering him correctly. I don't want to be a dick, right? I think he wants to. Well, I'm gendering him correctly. If that's how he wants to live his life, that's fine. That's completely fine.
When the doctor makes a correct guess, that's when a person is called cisgender. When a doctor's guess is wrong, that's when they are transgender. So I'm a man. But when I was a baby, the doctors told my parents I was a girl. And so my parents gave me a name that girls typically have and bought me clothes that girls typically wear. And until I was 18 years old, everyone thought I was a girl. And this was super, super uncomfortable for me because I knew that wasn't right.
So when you say you know that wasn't right, you have scientific facts that say you have a vagina, which means that the science is that you're female, right? But you know it isn't right. So I think this is a belief rather than a fact, right? Or maybe a faith. You have faith, you have belief, you have knowledge. Knowledge is when you have first-hand experiential information. I have 4 fingers and a thumb, right? I can see that. I have first-hand experiential knowledge of that, right? I have first-hand experiential knowledge that massive conspiracies normally aren't real, so therefore I believe the world is round, right? A lot of people believe it's flat. That's cool. Whatever you want to believe. You don't have to accept science. I am fine with that, right? I am completely fine with that, but that's knowledge. Belief is when you have circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidence is the sun goes around them. People believe the sun and the earth orbited the sun and the moon orbited the earth in the Middle Ages. We now know that's not the case. It's a reasonable belief. And then you have faith. Faith is when you believe something even contrary to the facts. The facts is I have a penis, but I feel like I'm a woman. So therefore, I have faith that I'm a woman. It's somewhere between, in my estimation, it's somewhere between faith and knowledge. I'm not on the inside, so I can't really know. But the instances of people who believe themselves not to be the gender their physical characteristics are so incredibly low. There's one explanation is that they somehow your body is manifested in the wrong way, which again seems very counter to science to me. And the other explanation is that you have a mental disorder. And again, this is not pejorative against this person or any person. I'm just saying that there are options on the table for me. They're taking I've had mental illness before, right? And I believe things that they were kind of true, but it was a distorted view of reality, right? And again, if an adult wants to have gender reassignment surgery and like permanently change their body, making it impossible for them to have children, that's fine. Where I have a problem, I think most people have a problem, is when you have children 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, anything under 18, having double mastectomies. You have people like Elliot Page who show off their double mastectomy, and I'm glad they're happy. To me, I'm so scared. And I'm not being I got no axe to grind against any of these people, right? I am scared that they are mentally ill and they mutilate themselves, and it's very distressing to me to see people mutilate themselves. More distressing, though, is having kids taught something that say is something that is normal that isn't, right? And the lifestyle of being trans. The data is results in misery, right? Generally speaking, results in misery, even post-transition, right? Even if you have a complete transition, the suicide rates are abnormally high, right? So I don't want to again, I don't want to teach children to hate somebody who is trans. I don't. We should be loving and respectful to all people. I am fine with that. I am totally fine with that, and that's what I think we should be doing. But in the same breath, I don't need their desperate need for validation to endanger children, which is, I think, what it's doing. Now, the other thing is when you introduce extreme sexuality like this at a very, very early age, you're normalizing sex. So the people who normally use that are called groomers. In fact, this action is called grooming, right? And the reason you groom is the same reason they groomed in ancient Rome, in Roman society. Why? So when an adult wanted to have sex with a child, the child would want to please that adult and often go along with it. And that's the way that society ran. Right, and I don't think it's good news, right? And again, if adults whatever consenting adults want to do is what consenting adults want to do. But I don't think you can't consent when you're a child. Why is there an age of consent, right? Why is there an age of consent to sex? It's because you're considered not to have the cognitive development to decide if you're going to do this very, very important primal action, right? I would say it's more important primal having permanent surgery, or permanent trans-affirming treatments, which have permanent life-changing results, and more often than not, and I think it's more often than not, if it's not more often than not, it's disproportionately high, result in suicide, right? So I don't think it's for the benefit of society. Let's have a see, what more this person has to say.
The way I like to describe it is like wearing a super itchy sweater. The longer you wear it, the itchier it gets, and the only way to make the itching stop is to have everyone see and know the person that you really are.
Yeah, but it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way in that suicide rates still remain high. And I understand. It sounds nightmarish, right? Nightmarish for your existence. I am sorry you have this nightmarish existence. I don't think training children that abnormality is normal and is going to help with that. And moreover, I think it's an actual genuine danger for children. One, it climatizes sex, makes them more a target for pedophiles, and we see that over and over again. People who call this the "Don't Say Gay" bill end up being pedophiles over and over again. How many young girls have been sexually assaulted in school bathrooms by transgender students? And they then say they're not transgender, they're bi, whatever. Right, but because the transgender policy has resulted in massive numbers of sexual assaults, and I'm very sorry for that. But I just don't see this person feeling like they're wearing an itchy sweater a reason to open the door for mass pedophilia and drive children to activities that will bring them to suicide. Right. So that essentially is the anti-grooming bill, right? That's it, in a nutshell. So the people like this have sense that the people who support the anti-grooming bill don't believe that one's perception of self is more important than the scientific physical reality of self. And they don't like that because that invalidates them and it makes them feel bad, right? So they're very, very upset about this. So they renamed this bill. They called it the "Don't Say Gay" bill. At one moment, tying gay people directly to pedophilia, right? So the LGBTQ plus alliance now includes groomers, as we're about to see, the fault lines have indeed been drawn. So let's see what happened here. Twitter looks out Agent Posso creator Jack Posobiec over boycott groomers Disney parody merch. So Jack Posobiec is a very, very good reporter. I check his Twitter feed regularly. He normally gives, he normally takes journalism as journalism, right? It actually has journalistic standards, which is quite an event in 2022. Agent Poster creator and Human Events Daily host Jack Posobiec has reportedly been locked out of his Twitter account over a tweet that he promoted this sale of merchandise made in protest of Disney's recent vow overturns Florida's parental rights in education law. So essentially what that law was, if you're between 5 and 9 years old, you can't have these type of deeply sexual conversations with children in secret without the parents' knowledge. The idea is if a kid wants to come out to a teacher as trans, the teacher will then hide that from the parent and facilitate trans-affirming procedures, which again it could be double mastectomies, could be any form of different actions which have life-changing consequences on your children. Now, why would a child come out as trans? Maybe they're trans. Maybe they want to please the teacher who say, look, I'm trans too. Maybe they like the protected status of being trans. Again, go back to that program with the blue-eyed children, right? You will see human nature in children, right? Which I think is being manipulated for the absolute worst reasons. And that manipulation is now being wholeheartedly supported by Disney, by the elites, by Twitter, by Disney, by YouTube, by the Biden White House, by the Democrats, by a lot Republicans, by conservatives, by Labor, people in power, right? This is not a left-right thing. This is people in power. Left leans more strongly into what much like hating Jews, like not liking Jews. It's where the left and right can really come together. Having sex with children and not liking Jews. Oh, they're two of their favorite things. They're some of my favorite sins. Featuring the boycott groomers, and by the way, Disney has lost 30% of its stock share, and since this has happened, not going well for them. Not going well for them. Illustrated in the style of the company's traditional castle logo. I think these are hilarious, right? I think these are absolutely hilarious. So, shared by Posobiec on his personal Twitter account on April 6th, the offending tweet featured a pair of links that bring to the Bring Ammo clothing company recently launched boycott groomers t-shirt and stickers, respectively, alongside their playful encouragement. Get it before it's banned. Well, it's true. However, on April 10th, it was uncharacteristically period of Twitter silence from Posobiec, and the reporter revealed via Telegram account. I follow him on Getter. That he received a 12-hour lockout for calling Disney groomers. So groomer is now a protected category, a protected class, right? And again, we're not the ones who said gay people are groomers. We didn't come up with the don't say gay thing, no. But they don't like people hearing about things. They do not like it at all. So he says, I stand by everything I said about Disney. He had in a follow-up. According to a screenshot shared by Posobiec, is that how you pronounce his name? The tweet apparently ran afoul Twitter's rules against hateful conduct, which states you may not promote violence against, threaten or harass other people on the basis of race, ethnicity, national origin, sexual orientation, gender identity, religious affirmation, age, disability, or serious disease. So again, groomer fits into that. Okay, and again, these materials that teachers are sharing with the children, I can't put it on Twitter. I can't put it on. I can't put it on Twitter. I can't put it on YouTube. Right? The video will be taken down because they're too graphic. It's too. I mean, the nature of these teaching materials is that if you show them to a coworker in most businesses, you will be reprimanded or fired for sexual harassment, right? And, these are more instructional on how to be, non-cis, non-comfortable in your skin. Why wouldn't you want to be comfortable in your skin? So strange. As a writer, Twitter has not specified the category. They believe Posobiec directed its hate towards. Well, they're not going to, are they? Oh, please, Elon Musk, hostile takeover of Twitter. That's going to be wonderful. I would love that to actually happen. I think it actually might. Commenting on the situation on Post-Millennial, Posobiec referenced Twitter's new majority. Oh, he mentioned Elon Musk recently commented that corporations dictate policy on Twitter through ad dollars. So it comes at no surprise that Twitter will censor you for criticizing one of the largest media companies in the world. I have to say, have they factored in how much money they would start to make if they made a platform that, well, again, I'm not saying without hate speech rules. I think there should be hate speech rules because we have hate speech rules in real life. I'm totally on board with that. I'm more on board with them being non-draconian and applied equally, regardless of your political affiliation, right? Which they're not right now, right? Absolutely not. This is clearly retaliation for me leaking the internal employee forum at Disney showing many of their workers supporting Florida AntiGroom Bill. Yes, they did, right? Disney said, what's it say? Disney goes work. Disney say gay. Hashtag Disney say gay trans. I have no idea what that sign means. I have no idea whatsoever. As noted above, boycott groomers merchandise was created in process Disney's vow to repeal Florida's Officiated Parental Rights and Education Act. Exactly. Signed by Governor Ron DeSantis, ensures parents can send their kids to kindergarten without gender ideology being injected into instruction. And this doesn't prohibit a teacher saying, I had a lovely evening last night with my husband if he's gay or whatever. It doesn't prohibit any of that. And I think most people would be fine if the education was something along the lines of most families have a mummy and a daddy, right? But most people come from a mummy and a daddy. Sometimes you have two mummies, sometimes you have two daddies. No one has a problem with that. You don't need to get into the biology that's within somebody's underwear to teach that over, right? If trans women are women and trans men are men, why do we need to talk about their their private parts? They're called private parts. They're supposed to be bloody private. And I think most people, when they hear the language of the bill, are completely in support of it, right? And that there's a need for it, is somewhat disturbing. The bill takes three main steps. He elaborated. First, the bill prohibits classroom instruction about sexuality or things like transgender in K3 classrooms. 8-year-olds. Literally 8-year-olds, I think. After third grade curriculum, and the curriculums need to be age appropriate. Second, bill ensures at the beginning of every school year, parents will be notified about healthcare services offered at the school with the right to decline any service offered. He concluded. So basically, the healthcare services, we can cut your penis off if you don't like it. Let's say a kid says, I am really uncomfortable having two arms, really, and they're two perfectly healthy arms, but it's uncomfortable. It's like a really itty sweater. I am not somebody with two arms. I am somebody with one arm, and I have been born deformed. Please cut my arm off. I would say a doctor that does that to a child has violated the Hippocratic oath of do no harm. How is this different? How is this any different? I don't understand. And if there is a difference, somebody please explain it to me. And finally, the bill ensures that whenever a questionnaire or health screening is given out to our young students, parents receive it first and give permission for the school to give it to their child. This doesn't sound draconian, right? Does in no way sound draconian. In response to the law passing, Disney issued a statement via Twitter the same day declaring Florida HB 177, known as the Don't Say Gay Bill. Why are gay people being tarred with the brush of pedophilia, which is what grooming is, right? There is no reason whatsoever that you need to be telling a 6-year-old about gender dysphoria. There is absolutely no reason for that whatsoever. And there's no science that one can show to demonstrate a good reason. They should never have passed it, and it should never have been signed into law. Why? Our company goal is that this law be repealed by legislators or struck down by the courts, and we remain committed to supporting the national and state organizations working to achieve that. Again, why? Why? The company continued, we are dedicated to standing up for the rights and safety of LGBTQ plus members of the Disney family. Does that include pedophiles? Right? Does that, again, how is it impinging on anybody's rights to prohibit using children to validate oneself or validate one's sexual choices in life, right? As well as LGBTQ plus community. So the plus includes, according to Twitter, groomers and pedophiles, right? Community in Florida and across the country. And please do not think the next step is an actual sex with children, right? It has to be. If a child can consent to having life-changing gender-affirming treatments, like that will, again, double mastectomies, that will stop them being able to have children, right? If a 7-year-old, 8-year-old, 12-year-old, 15-year-old can consent to that, right? If they can consent to that, they can consent to have sex. Can you explain to me the difference? Why is there an age of consent? Because we figure before a certain age, children don't have the cognitive ability to make this very important decision. As of writing, Mr. Reigns looked out. Well, no, he's back in his account. What do you make of it? What I make of it is the high society, because I don't want to use the word elite. High society is much better. High society has a very, very, very creepy grooming, and I would say pedophilia problem. My name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell, so you're notified when new videos drop.